seeing in Canada, the United States, but also internationally, the UK and Australia, more and more of these pro-Palestinian protests in solidarity with the people of Gaza and the Palestinian people as the war between Israel and Hamas continues. Well, word of what is going on has reached those people, and Abby Kugathasan is in London with some of their reaction and what we're hearing from Palestinians. Abby, what can you tell us on that point?
Heather, as we see the tents across various college and university campuses in the U.S., Canada, Australia, the U.K., as you said, we've been seeing some videos in recent days of messages on tents inside Gaza, tents where people are not protesting from, but trying to survive from. And they shared notes of gratitude for Western students demanding a ceasefire on their behalf. One man made that message that you see there using a translation app, it appears, to write this message in English. It reads, "Thank you, students, in solidarity with Gaza. Your message has reached Palestinians." Another simply says, "Thank you, students," from Columbia, referring to that university in New York. Now, this man here that you see spray painting the side of tents spoke to a freelance videographer that we're working with in Gaza, and here's what he had to say.
كما ندين كل عمليات الضرب والاعتقال التي قامت بعض الحكومات باتجاههم، يتركوا لهم حرية الرأي، يتركوا لهم حرية الديمقراطية، حرية كانت من المفترض أن تكون أمام باتجاه شعب مظلوم مكلوم، شعب يعاني الأمرين، شعب يقصف بالدبابات بالطائرات، شعب تسقط على رؤوسهم منازلهم.
Now, Palestinians who've been saying that they're forlorn, that they felt that the world had seemingly turned a blind eye to their torment in more than 6 months of war, which has killed over 34,500 Palestinians amid ongoing IDF bombardment. There's also the threat of famine, according to aid agencies like the UN. And so the scenes of these young people in foreign countries, they say, has given them hope, especially the students in the U.S., where the Biden administration provides backing to the Netanyahu government. A reminder for some that people are not necessarily their governments. Again, Palestinians in Gaza trying to show demonstrating students in other countries. They see them, they appreciate their efforts to bring attention to their suffering, and hoping certainly that these young people will push for change on the domestic front that potentially leads to a ceasefire thousands of kilometers away where they are.
So also in the region, of course, Abby, there are those who say what's happening there, the protesters are pro-Palestinian, but others see them very much as anti-Israel and anti-Jewish and anti-Semitic. There are talks of violence and harassment and threats and anti-Semitism in some of these protests. The people in Israel, what are they saying and what are they hearing?
Yeah, some Israeli students are worried about what they say is anti-Semitism on North American campuses with regard to these demonstrations that have popped up on various campuses. Some say the students in New York, Texas, Montreal, now Toronto, don't understand the depth of terror that was experienced by Israelis on October 7th. They feel forgotten about. They say the 1,200 people who were killed have been forgotten about, that the approximately 240 hostages that were taken, some who are still being held captive, have been forgotten about. That's the sense that some people in Israel feel. In recent days, we have heard from Jewish students in North America, some saying they don't want a war fought like this in their name. Others say the campus encampments make them afraid. So certainly a multitude of thoughts and sentiments within the Jewish community, to be sure. Inside Israel, similar multitude of thoughts and sentiments. Another reminder, again, that people aren't necessarily their governments. We have seen Israeli students join wider demonstrations, some calling on Benjamin Netanyahu to resign as prime minister. Some of our viewers may remember there were mass demonstrations before October 7th accusing Netanyahu of corruption, and there was anger over his plan to overhaul the judiciary as well. And now there are some who are concerned that he's mishandling the war and not prioritizing the release of hostages. But again, many in Israel deeply concerned that these demonstrations that we've been seeing in recent days on these campuses, they feel hurts them, they feel they're not being understood.
Abby, thank you very much. Abby Kugathasan in London.